This is a New Holland C238 compact track loader. It's made by Motorart and it's in 1/50th scale. Now this is really a pretty good model. It is from Motorart and they don't have a terribly good track record of having models arrive in one piece. Now, there's a couple ways of looking at that. I think Motorart takes some risks with manufacturing because they will have thinner metal in their linkages, and they'll also use thinner connection points on the plastic and the cylinder jackets, and it allows you to make a finer model with smaller parts, but it also makes them very delicate. And because of that, a lot of Motorart models just simply do not arrive in one piece. It's fairly often you have to order 2 or 3 Motorart models before you get one that is actually complete. And that's unfortunate, but when it does work, it works very well. I'd ordered 2 of these because they were on sale, and both of them came fine, no problems whatsoever, and they're both really pretty great models, especially for the price. I think the retail on these is somewhere around $30 maybe, and at $30 this is a pretty great skid loader. It's nice to have something new from New Holland, or at least current or modern, whichever way you want to look at it. And to have a track skid loader, or compact track loader, is also nice. Like I said, it's a nice model. Motorart did a very good job with it. The paint is very good. The decals are nice and crisp. Like I said, Motorart uses some of the, some thinner metal connections to achieve, the functionality of the model, and here it works. They did a pretty good job with it. It does have that, I guess it's like a vertical lift linkage, and they did a pretty good job replicating that. It does work pretty well. The cylinders are fairly stiff. I mean, it'll hold pretty much any pose you want to put in it. You get a pretty decent loader height out of it. I don't think that's tall enough to load a dump truck, but it does display pretty well. You also have a very good dumping angle on the bucket. As far as the bucket rolling back, it leaves a little bit to be desired. I mean, like, that could be better, but it's not terrible. It'll come back enough that it's not not riding on the ground, which is nice. The tracks don't really roll very well, but it's not made to be played with. It's made to be sitting on the shelf. One of the things that was pretty nice, that was a little bit of a surprise, on the actual skid loader, they opened up the mesh around the like the cage around the operator station. They opened it up to be a little bit wider so it's easier to see out of, and they replicated that on the model pretty well. It looks really good. You have a nice antenna here for the radio, which is cool. You take a peek inside, you can see the basic operator station there. There's not a whole lot to talk about, but it does look pretty good. You just barely have some lights in there that you can almost see. You have these big red lights on the front of the cab, which I'm not exactly sure if they're on the skid loader or not. Maybe they are. I don't know. It seems odd to have red lights on the front of the cab. I'd rather have some nice LEDs up there rather than red lights, but whatever. You do have the red lights on the back, though. None of the engine panels open up or anything like that. There's no glass in the back of the cab. The undercarriage is pretty basic, but certainly looks the part. Underneath there's nothing there, but I mean, there's nothing there on the real machine anyway. Now the bucket is fixed in place. It is not removable, which is a little bit disappointing, but at the same time, like I said, for the price you pay on one of these, I think it's an excellent value. I think you get an awful lot for the money. They're not as cheap as the Bobcat models, but they're also not as expensive as the Conrad models either. So it's a very nice happy medium, I think. Anyway, that's about it. Overall, I think it's a pretty great model. I'm happy to have it. Like I said, I ordered two, so I'm glad that number one, they arrived intact, and number two, they actually panned out to be a pretty good model. Anyway, that's about it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask. If you'd like to see more of what we have, please subscribe to Maryland Construction Diecast. And thanks for watching.